Welcome to PandTha Games. If you're listening on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, links are in the bio below.
Feel free to leave a review and let us know what you guys thought, and if there's any ways we can improve, or if there's anything you guys just want to hear more of. Enjoy the episode, guys.
Thanks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 26th episode of PandTha Talks.
Hello.
Honestly, I was thinking about this last week, and on Buzzsprout, what we use to actually push the podcast version out, it actually says season, and I always put it as season 1, episode 25, because that's all it is. And I was sat there thinking about it last week after I'd uploaded it. I was like, what the fuck would be a second season for us? Like, what would even be the thought process of that?
I have no idea. When we go into actually streaming a game and talking about it,
Yeah. Well, I did come up with some theories, but I will discuss that with you later on, because I've got some ideas that might work. But in regards to what we have for this episode, because there hasn't actually been too much going on, surprisingly.
no, with the summer sale going on, there's not a whole lot else to talk about.
To be honest,
You good?
yeah, I had I just opened TikTok to check how our podcasts are doing on there this week, and immediately something that's on my TikTok feed just popped up. Because of course it did. It's always good fun. Right, let me just quickly take a look. So it will be after the game recommendation. So it's the confidentiality of PS Secrets leaked last week. That received 11 likes. Lord of the Rings Gollum received 7. Oh, we actually... article review. Does Final Fantasy 16 want to be a game? Remember when we were discussing this?
Yeah.
We got 10 likes and a comment on this from a guy called Ednazia Xavier, and he put, I love this. This is why I tell people to stop listening to the critics and experience something themselves. Which I completely agree with.
That's actually a spot on point if you think about it. Like, I do this with films all the time when I go to watch films in the cinema. You should be. It's the same with games. You can watch all these videos and all these streamers of people playing this game, or you can read all these reviews and comments about a game, but it's never the same when you experience it yourself.
100%.
Sure, you can get like an idea and maybe like know about some of the bugs or some of the good features or both sides of it, but you'll never really know whether or not a game is good or not once you've played it, because it's completely down to like what you enjoy to play and what style you play games.
Yeah, 100% on that one. We have another comment as well on the episode straight after, which is, on the one straight after, which is responding to your comments. And the person decided to hit the topic about Logitech coming under fire about the Titan sub. And the guy who commented about that, they put, they would have been okay if they used a Namco PS1 flight stick. I absolutely love that. That was good. But no, it's nice to get some response from people, and we thank everyone for replying to the TikToks, and also thank you to the 25 people who are following us, which is crazy, to be honest. We have
It's awesome to see you guys there.
25 followers on TikTok and 655 likes in total.
Damn.
We do average out, to be fair, about like 10 likes per video per TikTok, which is pretty nice to see. And we
awesome.
thank everyone for it. But I just
Wouldn't do
wanted
this
to
without
quickly...
you guys.
Oh, 100%. I just wanted to quickly cover that, because I know you yourself really enjoy just seeing what people have said.
Yeah.
Cool. 100%. So, we had an increase last week as well on the actual podcast. We got 15 views, and it seems like we've gone up to 5 subscribers now from 4. So thank you to the people on that one. But yeah, that's a drastic increase in comparison to what happened last week. The week before, with how I fucked up the naming and kept it capped at 4 It's still at 4. I don't expect it to move.
Ah, well.
Once again, another free downloads on it, so thank you all for that. And that's pretty much the podcast updates, really, that I have for us this week on that part. So now we've actually got some news.
Yeah. What do you got for us, Roy?
Oh, just some depression in a basket.
Ah, just the same as every other week then. You never have good news for me, do you?
I've had some good news occasionally. But I just thought this one would be, interesting.
Lovely.
How gaming and social media killed the basic art of speaking. Which I find really amusing, because if you listen to anyone younger than, I'd say probably, no, actually, there's people at our age that speak like it, who cannot string together a basic sentence and have to throw slang in everywhere.
Yep.
All this bruv and all that crap.
Ugh. Well,
Exactly.
now you're just talking about the British when you mention bruv.
You know what I mean, though. Remember that you are a human being with a soul and the divine gift of articulate speech. That your native language is the language of Shakespeare and Milton and the Bible, and don't sit there croning like a bilious pigeon. Who in hell's name said that?
Yeah, that's quoted because that's in flipping
Yeah.
quotation marks. Like, what?
George
Are they good?
Bernard Shaw wrote the character of Henry Higgins, the irascible professor of phonetics who bets the Pygmalion. What the hell is this?
Hey, what have you come across? Seems to just be a bunch of wacky quotes.
One moment. I just need to check something here. Right. Okay. So this is all that I need to cover. Fantastic. Parenting by iPad plus early use social media use in gaming means children are losing this basic art. Some children, especially those who should have learned basic verbal and social skills during the pandemic, have lived in such a bubble that they present almost as if they are autistic, but they aren't. This just seems like someone attacking people for the sake of, to be honest with you. Also, what the hell? I swear I've heard this name as well. Nah, something else entirely. I just have random strings of numbers from working shit out, apparently. He looks younger than me.
Bruh.
How old is this guy? There's usually a page about them, so come on. He joined in 2014, so he's got to be older. There's nothing about him. Okay. I can't explain for the life of me what this is about, or why the guy's as interestingly aggressive as he is. That's the only way I can really put it. He's overly aggressive. Oh. I don't like this guy.
He is called Guy.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the one give up feature. I'm moving straight on.
Is he not your buddy, Guy?
He's. I'm not your guy, friend. Right.
Left.
But let's just move straight on from that, because that was a shit show of nature. I can't even believe that. I'm actually sorry for the people that have just heard what they actually think. Pushing buttons. How much does Call of Duty really make? Inside the court case telling gaming secrets.
Everyone already knows the answers to this. An absurd amount.
Yeah, we went over it briefly last week.
Especially those few years where all the loot box crap was blowing up, and people were putting hundreds and thousands of dollars, pounds, euros, whatever into it.
Oh, 100%. In this week's newsletter, how a hearing on Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard has made for the gossipist weeks in gaming for years. What is it with people and writing articles incorrectly?
They're trying to say like gossipy. The way you pronounce it is weird, but like I don't even know, man. I don't know why they're saying it like that. I don't know, man. It's hurt my brain. Why they
The thing
feel the
that
need to talk like this.
That's the thing that baffles me. We're people who are into technology. We're people that are into video games. What interest do we have in fucking gossip talk? Like, we're not people who watch.
We create the drama, dude. We don't care about other people's drama and stuff like that. We just are the drama. We hop into a video game, we create some bullshit, annoy some people, and just make ourselves the drama.
Yeah, just go play Postal 2 for half an hour and suddenly you're the Antichrist. Just fucking hell, that's all you need to do.
What a game, man. What a game.
It's been an absolute gossip bonanza. What the fuck?
I think it's been one of them weeks, man.
I am so sorry. Like, usually when we record an episode, we look, I find an article just like I did the first thing today before I even start. I look for articles, I see gaming, I see that it's an interesting headline, I'll check it. I don't expect crap like that.
You know what it is, mate? We're recording on a Friday.
Yeah.
Because the schedules don't work for recording on Saturday like we normally would. So I'm just going to blame it entirely on the Friday.
I think that's it. It's got to be. It's just got to be. This is where the biggest drama in gaming news kicks off tomorrow. If that happens, I will cry. The hearing on Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard by the US Federal Trade Commission, FTC, has exposed reams of previously confidential data about how Xbox and PlayStation do business. And some of the juiciest info was accidentally... Oh,
juicy. I love me some juicy info, dude.
The reason I'm struggling with this at the moment is simply put, this is like a completely separate group that typically handles that sort of language. You know, you usually get it in celeb news and shit like that. This is gaming media. We don't care about that news. If anything, it puts us off. Yeah. Oh. So bad, man. Some poor clerk with a black marker did a poor job redacting some documents. Yeah, we know about that. So let's skip ahead to the bits that are important, shall we? Horizon Forbidden West, pictured below, cost a reported $212 million over 5 years with a team of 300. The Last of Us Part 2 came in at $220 million and took even longer, and those figures don't even include marketing costs. Damn, so those don't include marketing costs. I'd actually push the argument that they possibly were.
I don't understand what happened with the Horizon games. Like I'm pretty sure the first one blew up, and then like you just don't really hear anyone talk about it. But apparently they're like really popular.
I didn't enjoy the first one.
No?
Can't connect to the character or anything.
I might be wrong saying the first one, but at some point I remember seeing one of them coming out and people were going crazy over it, and then they were all hyped because there was a new one announced. But like, I just never heard anything about it though.
Oh yeah, they were both beloved.
Yeah, anytime I hear it mentioned, people are always, I love that game. But I just don't hear a word about it.
primarily you're looking at these PlayStation fans. They love the games, but anyone who plays them like on PC or whatever, it just doesn't hold up. It looks nice, and that's about all I can really give it.
Yeah.
For Sony, spending such enormous sums of money makes sense, because these games are advertisements for the PlayStation itself. You can only play God of War or Horizon on a PlayStation 5, and Sony has spent the past 15 years investing in the best stable of developers out there. And despite the outlay, it's profitable. The PlayStation 5's biggest exclusive games have sold 8 to 10 million copies, and let's not forget that unlike Ubisoft or Activision or any other publisher that makes games for PlayStation, who pay a 30%-ish cut to sell games through the PlayStation Store, Sony gets to keep all the profits. Well,
Certainly sounds like Sonic.
You see, I'm not sure.
Money, money, money.
It's not that. I'll give you an example, actually. A really good example. So, if I recall correctly, and someone will have to double check this for me, but Insomnia is owned. Insomnia. No, it's not Insomnia. What's it called now? It's not correct in time. Rift Apart. Insomniac Games, that's the one. I'm pretty sure that they're owned, by PlayStation Studios. Right. So they're owned by PlayStation. But considering I know for a fact that the new Spider-Man game was made by Insomniac and Nixon Software are the developers, Sony are the publishers. Sony still only get roughly an X amount of the profit. Yes, they'll still end up breaking some of it back because they own the company in question, but it still holds to the fact that the company in question will still take some of the profit. Just because you own that company doesn't mean that you own their money. They still have operating costs and the rest that they have to do with it, and also to work forwards in creating other projects. So I wouldn't say that they get all the money from that. And just as a prime example, see, I do defend Sony sometimes. It's just rare. It's just very, very rare that they're doing something that I can actually agree with. Indeed, without exclusivity, without platform holders like Sony willing to invest in high-end game development to give themselves a competitive advantage and willing to partner with game development studios on marketing, it's doubtful that games of this scale will get made very frequently, if at all. I would like to introduce you to CD Projekt Red. But that's all I can really say to that. Instead, studios would focus more on service games with long-term revenue possibilities. The Fortnites and Robloxes. Roblox?
How does Roblox get brought into this topic?
Did I ever show you that VR game that looked pretty cool that was being built in Roblox?
No.
I'll have to show you that. Actually. I can't spell today. Can you tell I've been at work? Here it is. I'm not gonna play any audio, but that's in Roblox.
Damn.
That looks nothing like Roblox.
No.
It just doesn't make sense.
Looks clean though.
It looks phenomenal. Just even the environments. Sorry, I had to just quickly stop off there because Roblox has its thing, and it seems like it's doing quite well with it. So fair play to them. But no, I disagree with that bit. Ever keen to squeeze players for an extra few quid and an extra few hours? This is the benefit that we as players get from platform exclusivity, games that are exceptionally high quality because they are vectors to sell consoles. Once again, I'd like to introduce you to CD Projekt Red.
I feel like that's going to be your catchphrase for this episode.
I'd also like to introduce you to Toby Fox and probably the lunatic who made Stardew, which I think is Toby Fox. I could be wrong. I'm sure. No, actually, it might be some other guy. Concerned Ape. That lunatic who doesn't know what money is and why we need it. So, I disagree with that severely. Amazing games of extremely good quality have come out for many years, and it has not needed to be, oh, but this sells consoles. PC get amazing games every year. It's not to sell PC. I mean, bloody hell, you can get a Steam Deck with all that crap on now. You know. Ugh. Perhaps unsurprisingly, as Microsoft has only recently busted out the checkbook and bought itself a stable of new studios to make exclusive games for the Xbox, Microsoft boss Satya Nadella doesn't like the whole concept of exclusive games. Giving evidence at the FTC hearing last Wednesday, he said, "If it was up to me, I would love to get rid of the entire idea of exclusives on consoles. But that is not for me to define, especially as a low share player in the console market. I have no love for that world." I'll be honest, that's something I've said for many years, though. As you know yourself, Will, I really do disagree with the idea of exclusivity. I don't like it. I think you should be able to go on.
It's kind of pointless. Like you're taking away the opportunity for people to play certain games because you want it only on your platform.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the two consoles, people have a preference. They either want Xbox or they want PlayStation.
Exactly. And what I've found over the years discussing with these people, if you say you don't like exclusives, or you don't want to have to play out for a new console every time you all play a game on a certain platform, they'll always go, "Oh well, if you really wanted to do it, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should actually work hard and get more money." So what you're saying basically is gaming as a hobby should not be accessible to people with low incomes. That's a dick move. And I severely disagree with him. This low share player is currently trying to spend almost $70 billion on Activision Blizzard and King, and thereby buy it a dominant position both on consoles and mobile. A 2019 email from the Xbox head of game studios, Matt Booty, what a name, in which he wrote that we, Microsoft, are in a very unique position to be able to go spend Sony out of business, was defended in court as representative of an outdated strategy that Xbox never actually pursued. Documents also revealed that Microsoft was considering buying up Sega, Square Enix, Bungie, Niantic, and Supermassive, among others, as well as the many game studios and publishers that it actually bought over the past 5 years, including Double Fine, Bethesda, and Obsidian. I do find that funny, actually. It talks about how it was considering buying about 6 studios, among others, and then goes, the many other studios, including these 3. That's it. It's like, so you were happy to list loads when it's considering, but when it's actually done, just list 3. Also, this low share player, you can tell they're taking digs at Microsoft where they can. Especially with this, has only recently busted out the checkbook. It's like you can tell which side of the fence you fall on, good friend. The company's determination to outspend the competition has been evident for a while. It sits in contrast with Xbox boss Phil Spencer's declaration that it wishes to act in the interest of gaming as a whole and play nice with its competitors. This has been proven many a times that he's trying to play nice with the opposition. Quite simply, he tried to add fucking cross-platform. Sony kept denying it. I will never understand why.
Like, how long did they deny it for? I feel like that went on for a considerable amount of time, and yet it eventually went through anyway.
Let's say this: the first game I managed to play crossplay from PC to PS5 was, of all things, of a game I don't really play because I hate it, Fortnite.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
A friend of mine messaged me and wanted to play it, and he only had console, so we jumped on. And that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
So that's the best we had back then. Microsoft is keen to portray itself as the underdog, even opening this FTC testimony with a statement about how it has lost the console wars, constantly coming in behind Sony and Nintendo since it first launched Xbox in 2001. It is a little hard to swallow such self-deprecation from the third biggest tech company in the world. While that might be true, we saw the actual statistics. We know for a fact this is the actual truth. We saw that, what, about 8 weeks ago now? Has to be about 8 episodes back when we got the statistics released.
I can't actually remember. It might have been a couple less than that, but I'm not certain.
Possibly sometime around then, anyways.
Yeah, something close to it.
More surprising was PlayStation boss Jim Ryan's private response to the news that Microsoft planned to buy Activision Blizzard, in which he says that Call of Duty, pictured above, will not be probably not be removed from PlayStation platforms as a result from the deal, saying will be okay, more than okay. I do remember this all going down. I'm just curious here.
Give me a second, Roy.
No worries. There are plenty of other interesting details from the couple weeks of testimony, including a very revealing claim from Spencer that Microsoft bought Bethesda's parent company, ZeniMax Media, in a $7.5 billion deal to prevent Sony from paying it off to make Starfield exclusive to PlayStation. It all reminds me that of a little of the US rivalry between Sega and Nintendo that ended up changing the course of the games industry in the 1990s, as detailed in the book Console Wars, which was made into a documentary in 2020. I don't believe this person's got the most up-to-date information, and if I'm brutally honest, I feel as though at times he's lacking a full clarification of what's going on. There's information missing, and on top of that, it's sort of denial. Also, Call of Duty's real make wasn't actually disclosed through this. Oh wait. Yeah, so all we've got is percentages basically. COD accounts for $1 billion in PlayStation sales. According to those poorly redacted documents, 13% of PlayStation owners spend at least 30% of their time. We went over this last week. There's not much extra information really. It's just kind of a PlayStation fans look into it at best. Kind of sad, really. I do have to admit.
Sorry, I'm back.
It's no problem. I thought I'd just continue rabbiting on because it wasn't really anything
okay.
different from the week before, sort of thing. It's kind of sad.
Was this what you were discussing? What you have up now?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed. I've seen a couple TikToks of it now. Apparently, someone has used ChatGPT to make a mod for Skyrim,
Oh.
where where you can now have infinite like talking lines with with the NPCs.
Yes, there's something being done. I don't know if you'd heard about this yourself. Fallout 4 story mods, they've been using ChatGPT and other AI platforms like it to actually voice their characters and give them infinite voice lines for the questions so that they've got a lot more voice acting sorted.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to why the Writers Guild went on strike a couple months back.
Yeah,
But hey,
Christ, it's gonna kind of run people out of their jobs if they use that.
well, that's the reason they kind of got an agreement that they're not allowed to do it for films and shit like that. But mods aren't films,
Yeah.
and I think modders should be able to use the tools that they need. To be honest, how ChatGPT is changing the gaming industry. So I'm gonna skip this little bit here because I think it won't really be necessary, but we'll go into it. What is ChatGPT? For people that don't know, it's a large language model developed by an OpenAI. Basically, it's quite a large fucking data set. It's got text, code, and it basically can perform most things. I actually have it built into Opera GX. If you use that, just don't ask it to rephrase things as Yoda, especially not Yoda quotes. You get a lot of information about pizza that you didn't want.
Stop, Roy. Please.
um,
I just push those memories aside. Don't return them to my brain.
but to be honest, it's just an open source AI that anyone can access. It will keep learning from what people ask it and what people are doing with it. And it can be used outside of just a chatbot to many more things. And as you can see, people are now including them into games. So, this is the first bit what Will was kind of just discussing. More engaging NPCs. Creating non-playable characters or NPCs is an important element of video game. Players interact with NPCs during the game can make a huge impact on the overall gaming experience. Here we are. Developers can use ChatGPT to make more realistic and engaging NPCs. The tool can be employed to create dialogue that is more natural and believable. With the help of ChatGPT, one can also create more interesting characters, NPCs that have different traits and personalities. Some games like Echo Generation have already used this tool in their creation. Using ChatGPT, they have created a conversational AI that answer questions and gives hints, etc. to the gamers. All this makes the game far more fun and engaging, which is always good to see. Stuff like that is always going to be useful. New content. One can generate new content with the help of it. Ask it a question, it'll give you some answers, but also apparently create new levels, quests, challenges by employing this tool. I did see a guy who used ChatGPT to create a website from scratch and just told it what it wanted it to do, and it coded the entire thing. Which is fantastic. So there's some bits like that you can do with them. Making the game more personalised, I'd say this kind of goes a bit above, but meanwhile the amazing tool also helps generating different dialogue options, which is what I run about there, giving players much more control of the story. So yeah. Customer support. I'd rather not go into that. I don't like customer support. Thank you, Blizzard.
Nobody does.
Educational games can make sure that it's informative as well as immersive. I reckon basically it's just double checking everything, and if things were to update, it could quickly throw it up there. It's not too much of an issue. Virtual assistants, I think we all know about that. You know, anything kicks off, inventory management, things like that can be sorted. Yeah, this is all very basic. More accessible. Developers can create games more accessible to people with disabilities by using ChatGPT. For instance, the tool could be employed for creating text-based descriptions of... Oh, right. So, yeah, basically just making it so when you're looking at things, it could throw it up on the screen or throw it through your headset or speakers so that you knew exactly what you were looking at. Which wouldn't be too bad. Oh, sorry. That threw me for a second there. I had to just double read that. Game mods. This is what me and Will were actually discussing, where people were using it so they were able to make it so that the NPCs could actually speak and had new different ways of speaking.
I just remembered another mod that I saw up on TikTok a couple of times. There's someone's made a mod for a follower.
Yeah.
That you talk into your mic to talk to the follower, and it responds to you using ChatGPT, I'm guessing.
That would be interesting.
Like the guy's actually there, like asking questions and it's responding to him, saying his in-game name as well.
That's pretty cool, actually. I would like to see a bit more about that. Brutal. One of gaming's hidden gems is now completely free. Apparently, it's an Epic Game Store. To sum it up, it's a game called Grime. It's usually about 20 quid. Previous games include smash hits such as Death Stranding and Fallout New Vegas. I like both of those games. But this doesn't look like my sort of thing. Looks like a
Norman
2D side
Reedus
scroller.
and his amazing fetus.
You know what? I like that. That'll fair play. You win.
Surprised you've not heard that before, to be honest.
I haven't, no. So yeah, it's a Souls-like 2D Metrovania sort of style. It's nothing really major, but it's something nice. It's easy to get a hold of, and it's free. So take a look.
Hey,
see how it is.
Go wrong when something's free, dude.
Oh, exactly. This was the one I was intrigued by. Xbox-obsessed Scotswoman, 50, takes days off work for gaming sessions. A 50-year-old woman has confessed to taking days off work to spend time gaming. Self-confessed nerd Caroline Alexander, 50, takes around 7 days of annual leave each year to play on her Xbox Series X when the big games are released. I don't see how that's an obsession.
No, man. You wanna, when a game's like fresh out, you don't wanna. It's like when films come out, you don't wanna see spoilers and hear everyone talking about it without you knowing anything about it. You wanna hop on that and get on the grind and play through it as much as you can when it's first released, so nothing gets spoiled for you.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I like what's being said here, though. She's been gaming since she was 6 and has even roped her in her husband Phil, with the pair now spending date nights playing Diablo 4. Carolina gets 22 days of annual leave each year, first fell in love with gaming through a popular arcade game, Jet Set Willy, in January 1982, before moving on to modern consoles. I've never heard of this, which is quite rare, actually.
Well, that's 41 years ago, man.
Oh, bloody hell. It's still got that as a copy and paste for me. Let's have a look. Bloody hell.
It's one of those style of games.
Oh.
I suppose it's kind of how they all looked back then.
Yeah. But what the hell is...
I'm really not sure what that is. I can only...
It's
I
a
can
guy
make
throwing up into the toilet.
How? I can't make that out.
Legs, back of a tailcoat, champagne and paper, and his head's in the toilet.
Okay, I see it now. I see it now. I could not make that out, dude.
I can't believe I've never heard of that. It was on the 1999 Game Boy Color as well. But you know what? That must be a right way to have grown up with.
No, now... see if this article is about people though going to watch a film the first day of release. It would be called they'd be called movie enthusiasts, not obsessed.
Exactly. Now she plays modern classics like Fable, Diablo 3, and Mass Effect with 57-year-old Phil, a computer programmer.
When was this released? Because Mass Effect is not modern.
6 hours ago.
Mass Effect is not modern. That is so old.
So her other half was a computer programmer. After demanding he joined her beloved hobby. I'm surprised he didn't earlier, considering he's a programmer.
In fairness, you hear the common thing. You don't like it's work or a hobby, not both.
Yeah, unless it's me.
No one compares to you, Roy. And if they do, they must be spawned from hell.
Oh, so you.
Oh God, no.
Caroline, who has been taking annual leave to game for 7 years, began booking weeks off after the release of Dragon Age Inquisition, an action role-playing game, and now continues to take annual leave for every big game release. Caroline, social researcher from Dundee, said, "I've always been a nerd and I love it. I tell my co-workers about my staycation of gaming. I don't use my annual leave for anything else important. It's definitely worth the days off." I don't blame her. If you've got the time off, why wouldn't you? Since childhood, Caroline says she was only interested in nerdy activities and fell in love with gaming upon the release of arcade games in 1982. Despite her mum being keen for her to develop more feminine hobbies, she gave up after buying Caroline her first console, the Sega Master System, in 1989. What a bloody system.
Yeah.
Caroline, what's up?
You might want to pause it for a second.
No worries. And we're back. Caroline said,
Gotta be cautious these days.
"Oh, you do. Especially with YouTube. 1 minute, like, swearing's fine. Next minute, you say one swear word and you're off the platform." Caroline said, "My mum never thought any man would want me. A gamer girl who loved spending their evenings killing monsters. Fortunately, she was wrong." After attempting to date men who didn't share her passion for gaming, the researcher eventually included her gaming interest in her OkCupid bio. Caroline and Phil matched in October 2016 and began chatting online.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it couldn't have been that recent.
I've got to say though, that is nice to see. Just sat next to each other, playing games, having fun.
I get it.
What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with it. Bloody hell. Although Phil, who lived in High Wycombe, wasn't initially interested in gaming, he soon shared his eagerness to learn, and the pair became official in just 2 days afterwards. Karen said, "I invited him over and sat him down. I passed him an Xbox controller and I let him know him know for the relationship to work he'd need to be a gamer."
He knew, all right.
Yeah, he knew. Definitely a cat's as well.
Oh yeah.
But Xbox, Switch, definitely Diablo 4. After teaching her new partner the ropes, the lovebirds continued to game together after their marriage in December 2020. That's nice to hear. Phil was quickly introduced to Caroline's annual leave scheme and quickly followed suit. Phil, who also does stand-up comedy, said, "I very quickly came around to gaming. I love..."
Yeah, there's so much comedy in games.
Exactly. "I love that she was honest about her love for gaming. It's just like taking time off for a holiday, but this one is digital." Caroline, a mum to 9 cats.
Wow.
All named after Scottish foods. Started to book weeks off her job after 2 years upon the release of Dragon Age Inquisition on May 2016. She continued this trend with the release of Elden Ring, Diablo 4, and The Witcher 3. Bloody hell. So she actually sits and plays for Elden Ring. I don't even have the coordination for that shit. Then again, I don't have a coordination to stand on my own 2 feet, so, you know.
Tell me about it. That's why
I
you
have...
fell up the stairs.
Hey, you fell upstairs too. Don't bully me.
I fell up the stairs because I was laughing at you falling up the stairs.
I have thousands of hours clocked on Diablo 3 alone. I'm so glad I was able to find someone that accepts my hobby. I can't wait for the next big game so I can book off another week. I respect it. I really do respect it. It's nice to see. And no, Daily Record, they're not obsessed. They're enjoying their hobby. Something that gives them more fun than dealing with people, to be honest. I can't blame them. I know me and Will are very similar in that regard.
Yep.
Oh. But yeah, that's all I actually have news-wise. Which is weird for me, to be honest. I usually have a lot more random crap.
Lower week.
It's been a slow 2 week, but you know, I go on holiday after today, so tomorrow I go away. I come back on the Saturday after, so I think that's the 15th, is it? Yeah, it is. So I come back on the 15th, and basically I'll be getting home and probably recording straight after, so I can get things sorted for that night, for the day after. But you know, it's gonna be me coming back basically with a clear head, hopefully. So hopefully things will go well.
Well, do you want to know what else you'll be coming back to, Roy?
What's that?
You'll be coming back to no Steam summer sale.
I know, I'm so sad.
One last reminder, by the time this episode comes out, you've got 4 days left on the summer sale. So if there's anything you want to pick up, make sure you grab it.
Just read right there. It ends on July 13th. So, pick it up, enjoy it, have a good time. Don't be like me.
Left to get those cheap deals.
Don't be like me with 98 in my wish list.
Don't ever be like Rory. Full stop. Like,
yeah, just don't.
It's not recommendable.
Don't be like me. Don't be like Will. If you're like either one of us, you failed.
I can't argue with that.
I'm gonna say you tell me I'm lying. I know you can't. You know you can't. So just pack it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually say I had something to discuss about seasons, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'd like to just add this to the end, just in case people are interested. Because I was thinking, we are starting to have weeks now where the news itself is quite slow. And I'm thinking of just picking out, in future, some of like the major points, and just picking out like 2 or 3 articles. And then for the rest of it, looking into a specific topic. So it could be a specific game that we want to talk about in some detail, or a specific company that's bringing out new technology, or something like that. Just an actual topic, and we'll prepare it for that week, and then we can discuss it in detail.
Sure.
That way it gives us something to discuss, and then we can move on to the next episode, and then it'll be a different topic that week. So that sort of thing. Because as well as us tackling what gaming news there is, we can also discuss some actual information about gaming itself. Oh, sorry. Of all times for me to ever sneeze. Oh dear. I never sneeze during the podcast, and then this week, sneeze. Sound like a bloody pixie. But no, that's what I'm thinking. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, sounds good. It'd be nice to have like a more firm topic to talk about each week.
Sounds like a plan then.
Actually, have something to focus on too.
100%. That's kind of the way I'm thinking. I'll try and pull up a company or something for next week, so it'll give me something to think about while I'm off. But yeah, we'll do that then from next week forwards, and we'll see how it all goes.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Hey, I'm not Stan.
You never know, you might be.
Lies and blasphemy, sir. Anyways, with that all sorted, do you have anything else you'd like to discuss before we call it?
No, I think that's about everything.
Fantastic. Well, in that case, thank you all for watching another episode of PandTha Talks. If you have enjoyed, please feel free to hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment of what letter this week, Will.
K.
K. That's a dangerous letter.
I was just thinking about that, so it was as funny as you asked.
So leave the letter K just for some interaction. We really don't mind. And please do keep commenting on the TikToks. It's fantastic to see people.
Dang you, man. Someone's gonna comment the letter, and we're both gonna like look at it so confused.
We are, because we'll have forgot by the time next week comes round. And then right at the end, we'll remember.
Yeah, when we're at the end of the next episode, and you're asking out loud, then we'll both be like, "Oh,
that's why you left it."
And at that moment, I will love that person forever.
One day, my friend, one day. But now, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
See you later, guys.